Alright, so I've fabricated the little C-channel license plate bracket that I was talking about. It is out of 3/4 inch aluminum C-channel, pretty thin. I don't know what the thickness is, but it's thin. It's like a feather. And anyways, I painted that thing. So while the paint's drying, I wanted to get this thing removed, but I'm still gonna use this nice metal block off plate that came with the kit, and then I'm just gonna close it up with 2 different screws. So that would be that bolt right there, and this guy right in there. So this is the JL Designs light here. It's a pretty sweet light, just everything all combined into one. I don't think I cut anything. It definitely was fully plug and play, so came out pretty good. So I got to get this out of the way in order to take that thing out, and then I'm gonna actually end up removing the fog light, not the fog light, but the license plate light that came with it. So let me get all of this unplugged real quick. So I got this rewired without the Moto Dynamics light, license plate light. So here's the back. Got these 2 bolts in there, and then you can see the one up top all blacked out, and then right here you can't really see it, but there's actually a tiny gap right there, and that's kind of like where the license plate light wiring went in from that original license plate mount thing. So I stuck some foam in there. You can kind of see right there. That's the top. It's like the sticky back of the foam, and I just didn't stick it in. It's just there. And then I'm not gonna do a license plate light quite yet. So what I did is I made sure this wiring, I stubbed out the wires that feed the license plate light. That way I don't have to remove all of this stuff again if I want to, when and if I want to add the license plate light. And yeah, the stock license plate has this nice little plug. So I think what I'm going to do is cut off the other end of this plug from the original wiring harness, and then splice that direct to there, and that way I have a perfect, a nice little plug. And then my plan is potentially, since the license plate's going to be down here, I might actually try and mount this light right on the plate right there, and then I'm going to fish the wire from here right through that hole. So it'll be perfect once the license plate actually comes out to about here or something. So I don't know, it won't be that bad. I think it'll look all right, but for now I'm just gonna run the license plate without the light anyway. And then here's the bracket I made. It's still drying, so I'll probably try putting it on later tonight or tomorrow. Got everything all closed back up, and here you can see the 2 wires for the license plate light ready to splice. I actually made a new one of these tabs. My other one, this end was a little extra long, and then this this little rivet, threaded rivet thing was actually, I didn't do a good job. I over drilled the hole and it was kind of pulling out. So I made a new tab just to kind of clean that up. Probably going to take this thing and maybe drill it out a little bit more, drill some bigger holes. Not that it's heavy or anything, but why not? I don't want to add too much rigidity to the back if I don't have to. So here's the mounting bracket. This is kind of where the plate will mount like that. These holes right there are so that I can pop a screw in like that, and then I can screw it in easily. Otherwise, I don't think I'd even be able to screw the screw inside to do that, to get it mounted. So, should be pretty good. I'm putting a couple of little plastic washers under it. It needed a little bit of lift. And then you can see how it's bent a little bit. I basically put it on a piece of tubing and just kind of hammered it a little bit. I needed to splay it out to get that little bit of angle. And then I did this, having to put a little bit of tape on those just to hold them in place as I get it mounted. Otherwise it's very hard, so that's kind of like a little trick there. All right, here's the bracket mounted. It's pretty close. I needed a little bit of room to be able to get some kind of nut on there. That's why I added those little spacers you can see. And then the traditional type of Allen wrench, especially with the rounded edge, works pretty good, but it's still tight in here. And then this guy didn't fit in the hole and go long enough. So ultimately, this was the best version that was a little bit shorter than the L Allen wrench. So, whatever. All right, got it mocked up. Came out pretty good. It's still a little bit of an interesting angle, but it is what it is. So here would be my plan to ultimately have this light, the stock Aprilia license plate light like that, and it should be able, I'll be able to get the wire behind the metal bracket so you won't see the wiring, and then the wiring will pop out right there and then get fished into the hole there. And then at that point, maybe I'll either have the block off plate so you won't totally see it, and or if I get an exhaust, I'm likely going to get the exhaust that has the mount right there, so you're not going to see any wiring. I mean, look at all the other wires and hoses and stuff, so I think it'll look fine. But right now I feel like that's about as tidy as you can get anything, most out of the way. That up here, it's just a little uglier the higher it is, so pretty happy with that, actually. I like it. Yeah, so you figured that little bracket, I probably didn't need to buy as much as I did, but I bought like a 3-foot piece of this little C channel, so the cost of that, say $15 plus the nuts and bolts, who knows, that could be another $15, and then paint, 10 bucks. I don't know, I already had the paint. So we're looking at about 20 or 40 bucks depending on how you do this. And it was pretty simple, assuming you have some drill bits and things like that just to clean up the cut and drill the aluminum piece. I had just a standard little grinding hand grinder. So there you go. That's the tidiest tidy tail. And I may actually, my final installation is going to have a plastic license plate backer. Because right now you can see I have some extra washers in there because this was just barely touching when I screwed this bolt all the way through. But right now it's got perfect clearance.